Yeah, y'all know what it is when you hear the slow beat bringing and the lady singing. It's your boy Big Vern doing his thinging. Had an action-packed show for you today. Our first segment, we talked about Freeway Ricky, the real Rick Ross. He was on a podcast talking about Floyd Schofield Sr., saying that he's a dummy and a sucker. You want to check that one out. Then we talked some Greg Popovich from the San Antonio Spurs. He's thinking about coming back. We think he shouldn't. He's a first ballot NBA Hall of Famer, 5-time NBA coach, championship coach. He should just ride off into the sunset. Then Anthony Davis. He puts everything together during an interview with the LA Times when the Dallas Mavericks were in town to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Find out what we think about that. Then Matt Rule in Nebraska. He's gotten everything he's wanted. And is this third year, is this a make or break year for Matt Rule? Because looking at their schedule and looking at all the concessions that Nebraska has made, he's got to win something. So is it now or never? Then I give some real talk to my beloved Hoosiers going after TJ Olsenberger from Iowa State. I don't think that he's coming. If he does, fine. I'll jump up and down. I'll be happy. But when he's not even addressing any of this and he's trying to win a Big 12 title and get back to the Final Four, I don't think that he thinks about Indiana football. Find out about that one. Which brings us to our final segment on boxing. Chris Eubank Jr., is he getting under Connor Benn's skin too much? We'll talk about that when we get on the other side of the content. This is your boy Big Vern, pushing another rap album. Peace. It's your boy Big Vern coming to you from App Stupid Studios, pumping another rap album. IDK, Bravado Intimo, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites on the track is Mario Coins. Mario Coins is crazy. Then there's CU. Then there's Miles Trumpet Part 2. I think what's so dope about this album is like he recorded it in reverse. Because on side 2, you get Miles Trumpet 1. I'm telling you, I'm calling it early. This album has to be a candidate for Album of the Year. It is hands down the best rap album so far of 2025. IDK, Bravado Intimo, in stores now. Yeah, shout out to IDK. Think what he's doing is dope. Like I said, I enjoyed the project. But back to boxing and Chris Eubank Jr. Now, a lot of you all who don't watch boxing are just casual boxing fans. I'm a huge fight fan, been a fight fan for years. So, going back to when I was younger. This fight is primarily out of the UK. These dudes, their dads had a fight, and they pretty much tried to build this as the sins of the fathers are visited upon the son, and blah, 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 blah. However, they were supposed to fight prior to getting this fight showdown in April. And they was going to have Chris Eubank Jr. shrink all the way down to 147 to fight Connor Benn. But then he tested positive for steroids. Now, he tried to give some ridiculous excuse that he ate too many eggs. And that's why he tested positive for steroids. But then when they ask him, hey, look, what'd you take and everything? All he says is, I've been cleared. I don't know what you make of that. And Chris Eubank has been able to infuriate not only Connor Benn, but he's also been able to go ahead and infuriate Eddie Hearn. I don't recall ever seeing Eddie Hearn this fluttered and just beside himself, where he's annoyed. And you can see he's visibly annoyed when he retreats and talks about the man's ignorance and how Chris Eubank is full of himself. And I mean, there's genuine dislike on that. But when it comes to Connor Benn can't be controlled. And he got smacked with an egg earlier in the week, which was funny. Number one, I don't know who would think of putting an egg in their hand and smacking somebody with an egg. And that was just hilarious. And Connor Benn was over the top. He was over the top. And then what set it off at the press conference the other day was Chris Eubank Jr. saying if Connor Benn's dad puts his hands around his neck again, he wouldn't get him back. And that sent Ben into a frenzy. And when you're this mad this early, you're fighting angry. And sometimes it works in a fighter's favor, and sometimes it works against a fighter because all you're doing is trying to hurt this guy. You're not thinking this through. And again, Eubank going down to 147, he would have shrunk himself. His face would have been sunken in. He would have been in bad shape for that fight. But this fight was bought by Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency. They're fighting in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh. And so there's not going to be any steroids. This fight is taking place at 168 pounds. Connor Benn is coming up 2 weight classes. He's jumping 2 weight classes. He's 147. He's skipping over 154, 160, and he's going to 168. Now, if these fighters, one thing I will say, they have weight classes for a reason, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the smaller man is going to actually dog walk the big guy, because conventional wisdom says that an excellent little man loses to a decent big man. That's one thing. 2, some of these boxers walk around at 160, 170. So it wouldn't be unheard of for them to actually go up to 168 because they comfortably have been at that weight for a long time. But in this case, I wouldn't say that Eubank is going to run away with this fight because I really don't have a dog in the fight. But I don't like what I'm seeing from Connor Benn, that he can be agitated and he can be provoked so easily to where he loses it. Talking about, shut up, you don't know anything about me. And then all Chris Eubank Sr. was saying was like, hey, look, your dad, I feel better about your career if your dad is over your career and not have so much faith in Eddie Hearn. And if you need any kind of background on that, go look at Kell Brook. Yeah, go look at Kell Brook. There's no way Kell Brook should have been in the ring with Gennady Golovkin. And he got his eye broke. Again, this is what it is. And if I have what's a perceived enemy telling me something for my good, but I'm so angry, I'm so over the top, I'm out of my mind, I'm looking for a fight, that's not going to work out. That's not going to work out. So if Eubank is able to maintain the mental warfare going into the fight in April, it might pay dividends. But if Eubank doesn't, and he's just stoking a bear come the fight, I think that Connor Benn might shock him. However, I could be wrong. Dun, 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 dun. Well, that's the show. Thank you all for joining us. We had a great time. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe button and share the content. This is Big Vern, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.